Hello everybody, this is Oscar from notagrouch.com, and this is a follow-up to my Twitter article about how to grow your Twitter account. And I've had some questions about this article, and specifically questioning the motives of growing your account. And I want to make something clear. Growing your account on Twitter is definitely about the numbers. It's definitely about getting a larger following. But, and this is a huge but, you have to engage with the users. You have to talk to them. You have to be part of the community that you wish to belong to. I want to show you at least a couple of examples of what not to do. I'm just waking up. It's 4:30, and I want to show you some terrible ways to engage on Twitter so you don't do the same. Here's somebody I followed yesterday using the method I proposed in my article. For the reason that the method that I propose is fairly quick, sometimes you miss the type of account that you find and you follow a dud, a problem account like this one. We have SVT Media. And the reason they caught my attention is because if I go to my notifications, they say, "Not a grouch, love the hustle, love your hustle. By the way, I think you would like our last blog post here." Right off the bat, that tweet is not genuine because what hustle? Love your hustle? What hustle are you talking about? And then immediately you pitch me your article. That's what Gary Vaynerchuk will call a douche move.
All right, one more, and then I think I got to do the book signing. Yes, sir. All right. What's your name?
My name is Jeff. Thanks
Jeff.
for taking my question.
Sure, man.
It was good stuff.
Thanks,
liked what you had to say.
Thanks.
I'm talking about when you're kind of talking about what would you do for your mother, and then for your brother, and then for a complete stranger.
Yeah.
I started a company called Red Monkey Foods. We do gourmet seasonings and spices. So since I am a complete stranger, would you mind tweeting about it to your 900,000 friends?
Good hustle. I'm obsessed with hustle, right? But see, what I find interesting is, even though I just gave a really passionate talk, you went for the 19-year-old dude move, right? You tried to close on our first transaction. And so that gives you a big fucking no. But I do love your swag and your hustle, and that's why you're sitting in the room. You go and hedge that. We're all the guys. I told you my first business was lemonade stands because I really didn't want to tell you what it really was. My first business was really 4.5. I used to go to people's yards, rip their flowers out of their yard, ring their doorbell, and sell it back to them. So I'm like you, I'm gangster, right? I'm sales. I'm not up here, Mother Teresa, love your 50 people. Remember, you forgot because it was an hour ago. I only do this because it's how business is going to be done. I'm only interested in this stuff because it converts and it's going to be the only thing against the amount of noise that's going to be going on in the world. So what would have been more interesting is when I talked about, the steak I was having for you to send and say, "Hey, I saw you Inc. 500 and I'm sending you a little, spice that would go really great with that." And then I would say, good, thank you, economy tactic, let me retweet it. But now you fucking blew it, but there's a lot of other pretty girls out there, so the next time you go into the social media bar, don't be a douchebag, roll deep.
And then, as I suspected, if I just go look at their account, you see they're saying the exact same thing to every single person that follows them. Here you go. Nick Horsburr, love your hustle. By the way, here's your blog post. Co-workers Club, love your hustle. By the way, I think you're out. You would like our last blog post. Not a grouch. McCarthy 7979. Look, it never ends. That's idiotic. So don't do that. That was example number 1. What happens to accounts like that is they get unfollowed and they get muted. Don't ever need to see them again. If I go to messages, this is another big problem. Automatic direct messages from companies. There's a bit of a dissonance on what I'm about to tell you because I am following them. By definition, I'm opting into their ability to send me a message. But again, if you're following the proper way of doing social media, for example, the stuff proposed in this book by Gary Vaynerchuk, jab, 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 right hook. What they're doing here is they're throwing right hooks, and they haven't even talked to me. They haven't even engaged, or just appreciate the fact that I'm following them, and we can start a conversation that way. Dukyo, here you go. Look at this message. 1, 2, 3 links. Hello there. We're happy to connect with you on Twitter, but I bet you they haven't. Let's go look at their account. They're not following me. They haven't connected anything. I'm following them. They didn't connect with me. In my view, they're not entitled to send me a spam message like this. With 3 links. Learn more about what Dukyo can do for you. Link. Get started with your own blog. Link. Supercharge your blog traffic. Link. And let me know if there's anything else I could help you with. No, there's nothing you could help me with. You haven't even... No. I'm already following you to follow what you have to say. But obviously, you miss the entire point of social media. And you pitch me. Again.
You went for the 19-year-old dude move, right? You tried to close on our first transaction. And so that gives you a big fucking no.
Most of the messages here are the same. Here you go, SVT Media again.
That gives you a big fucking no.
And the list goes on and on. Very few people actually engage. I want to show you one that was paying attention, and I was impressed with her. Because, let's see. Oh, but then she messed up. She first sends me this message when I start following her. I've enjoyed your tweets. Do you use Twitter primarily for business or personal interest? Question. My response within a few minutes was, if you actually enjoyed my tweets, you would know that. But given that you haven't looked at a single tweet of mine before you send me a spam auto DM, bye-bye. Luckily, or not luckily, I don't know, she was paying attention and she actually responded. And she said, wow, a personal DM, I am impressed. Honestly, I confess this is an automated message, but when someone responds, I always take the time to look further into their tweets. Also, enjoying 1 or 2 tweets is not always enough to determine the answer. So I was on the fence about this one because she responded, but then she tried to weasel herself out of it by saying that enjoying your tweets could mean that she only looked at 1 or 2. So her whole message was disingenuous. Then I think, okay, well, this is going to turn into maybe a positive relationship. Maybe we can actually go somewhere with this. But I said, sorry, it's not a personal DM when you send it to everyone. And starting off with a misleading statement, not a good thing. But I give you credit for following up in person. Hope you have an awesome day. And then I sent her a tweet that I had posted earlier. Just basically, these messages are ineffective and irritating to people that are trying to make a connection.
And so that gives you a big fucking no.
And then she responds that she was actually impressed that I responded. Which means that if she's impressed that I responded to her automatic DM, then she's just basically throwing shit into the wind, shit on the wall to see what sticks. Knowing that most people are not going to engage with those auto DMs, but she still does it. That is perplexing to me, because if you know something is not going to be effective, if you know something's not going to work, why do it? Why risk alienating people just in the off chance that somebody actually pays attention to it? That doesn't really make any sense in this context. And then, she goes on to say, it is rare, unfortunately, that somebody responds to her, and I confess to being a culprit. I waffle between not doing something and then automating. Few respond as they don't trust DMs. I wonder why. Only 1 out of 10 that do call me on it. So she knows exactly what I just told you. And she says, by the way, I appreciate you not completely writing me off. Have a great day yourself. I say, oh, great. No problem. You get a pass for engaging. Then I explain, my experience is better to not automate first few interactions, and if you do it, you have to be incredibly awesome at it, like having a pool of 200 plus different messages so they don't appear to be automatic, and stay away from anything that might sound misleading. I'm a big proponent of automating a lot of the social media, website, e-commerce activity because it can be automated if you do it right. This is a surprise, and look at this. Then she sends me something else. And I don't understand her message. It makes me think that this is another automatic message. And then we left it at that. She never responded. We're 5 days later. And if you look at her stuff, it might be that I also made a mistake in following her because she's not engaging with anybody. You can see right here, no engagement. She replied me. 1. No other engagement. Which is a shame because she has close to 8,000 people following her, but chances are they're not really doing anything. Let's go take a look at another message. Let's look. Vanilla Web Studio, Vanilla IO. Do you need web mobile app development?
That gives you a big fucking no.
Advertisement right off the bat. So again, a douche move. All the other messages are the same. There's nothing here that's going to be different. So don't do this. Do not auto DM people when they first follow you. Follow them back or acknowledge that they followed you by talking about their profile, look at what they're tweeting, retweet them, favorite some of their tweets. Show that you paid attention. And as soon as you think that you should auto DM to save you some time, stop. Go read this book. That's a quick message for today. Follow up to how to grow your account on Twitter on my blog. Feel free to go read it, notagarage.com. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.